Good evening. The Florida Department of Transportation would like to welcome you to the public hearing for the Sorrento Road Gulf Beach Highway Project Development and Environment, or PD&E study. Financial Management Project Number 218493-3-22-01 and 218493-2-22-01. In addition to the PD&E staff here, a representative from the District Right-of-Way Department is here and will be available after the public hearing if you have questions regarding residential or businesses relocations on this project. A transcript is being made of all oral proceedings and will be part of the public record for this project. Before we start the presentation, I will share a few details to help you participate in this meeting. On your computer or device screen, you should see an information window that looks like the one in the upper right corner shown here. To listen to the meeting, your computer or device speakers are selected by default. If you prefer to listen by phone, select Telephone in the audio pane of the control panel and dial in using the information displayed. All virtual and phone-in attendees will be placed in listen-only mode throughout the public hearing. At a later date, we will provide responses to written comments that were submitted during online registration and those submitted at the in-person venue. The comment period begins as soon as the presentation is ended. Verbal comments from the in-person meeting will be addressed first. Verbal comment requests submitted during online registration will be addressed second. Providing verbal comments using GoToWebinar is simple. First, you must request to speak when registering to attend. During the comment period, the organizer will call your name that you provided at registration and unmute you. If the microphone icon is green, you are ready to make your comment. If the microphone icon is orange, you will need to click the microphone icon once, and it will notify you that you are unmuted, and then you can provide your comment. Again, you will not be on camera at any time if you join online. During the public comment period after the formal presentation, in-person participants will be called upon to speak first, followed by the virtual online speakers who wish to speak. If you dialed into the public hearing by telephone, your phone was automatically placed in listen-only mode and will remain in listen-only mode throughout the public hearing. A recording of the webinar will be available at the project website 3 days after the hearing. You can also call the project manager after the public hearing to request additional project information. Prior to the public hearing, draft engineering and environmental documents were made available for public review at the Escambia County Central Office Complex since March 2, 2021, and will continue to be available through April 9, 2021 at this location. The location does require social distancing. While masks are not required, they are strongly encouraged. The office is located at 3363 West Park Place, Pensacola. All public hearing documents are in the chat box area designated for documents and are available for viewing and download. The documents are also available on the project website. You may also view project documents tonight at the in-person public hearing. The purpose of this public hearing is to share information with the general public about the proposed improvement, its conceptual design, all alternatives under study, and the potential beneficial and adverse social, economic, and environmental impacts upon the community. The public hearing also serves as an official forum providing an opportunity for members of the public to express their opinions regarding the project. There are three primary components to tonight's hearing. First, the open house, which occurred prior to this presentation, where you were invited to view the project displays and to speak directly with the project team and provide your comments in writing through the online geoform or to the court reporter. Second, this presentation, which will explain the project purpose and need, study alternatives, potential impacts, both beneficial and adverse, and proposed methods to mitigate adverse project impacts. And third, a formal comment period for those attending in person following this presentation, where you will have the opportunity to provide oral statements at the microphone, or you may provide your comments directly to the court reporter or in writing. Fourth, a formal comment period for individuals attending the hearing virtually. For those attending in listen-only mode, comments may be emailed or mailed to the FDOT project manager. The contact information can be found in the handout located in the control panel during this session, which you can download onto your own device. You may also visit nwflroads/virtual meetings for more details. This environmental study, which includes the proposed widening of State Road 292, Sorrento Road, Gulf Beach Highway, to a 4-lane divided urban typical section with 7-foot wide buffered bicycle lanes, 6-foot wide sidewalks, a grassed median, and median openings where appropriate, has been conducted by the Florida Department of Transportation, FDOT District 3, in compliance with all applicable federal environmental laws and pursuant to 23 United States Code Section 327 and the implementing Memorandum of Understanding between FDOT and the Federal Highway Administration, signed on December 14, 2016, establishing the FDOT Office of Environmental Management in Tallahassee is the approving authority. This public hearing was advertised consistent with the federal and state requirements shown on the slide and is being held to provide you with the opportunity to comment on this project. Public participation at this hearing is encouraged and solicited without regard to race, color, national origin, age, sex, religion, disability, or family status. Persons wishing to express their concerns about Title VI may do so by contacting either the Florida Department of Transportation District 3 office or the Tallahassee office of the Florida Department of Transportation. This contact information is also provided in the project handout. The PD&D process evaluates potential impacts to determine an alternative using continuous community outreach to ensure that all interested parties have meaningful participation in the process. During the PD&D study, 3 different build alternatives were developed to meet the project's purpose and need. The analysis of these 3 alternatives were presented to the public at the Alternatives meeting on June 18, 2019. Based on the input received from that meeting and the analysis completed during the study, a preferred alternative has been determined and is being presented at this hearing. Public input and information received at the hearing will be taken into consideration when preparing the final documents for this study. The study limits extend from State Road 173, Blue Angel Parkway, to State Road 727, Fairfield Drive, and from State Road 727, Fairfield Drive, to State Road 295, Navy Boulevard, approximately 5 miles. The purpose of the project is to improve traffic flow, reduce congestion, and enhance safety along State Road 292, Sorrento Road, Gulf Beach Highway. The project is needed to address capacity, operational, and safety issues on State Road 292, Sorrento Road, Gulf Beach Highway, from Blue Angel Parkway to Fairfield Drive, as well as provide pedestrian and bicycle connectivity along Sorrento Road, Gulf Beach Highway. The proposed improvements are consistent with local transportation plans, including the Florida-Alabama Transportation Planning Organization's 2040 Long-Range Transportation Plan and Transportation Improvement Program, as well as the State Transportation Improvement Program, State TIP. 3 build alternatives and a no-build alternative were evaluated. All 3 build alternatives include widening the existing corridor with respect to a north, center, or south alignment. The no-build alternative assumes no improvements and does not meet the purpose and need for the project. However, it does provide a baseline condition against which to compare and measure the effects of the build alternatives. A comparison of the build alternatives were shown at the alternatives meeting and is available online and within the feasibility study. Alternatives 1, north, 2, center, and 3, south all resulted in similar impacts. Based on public input and the similarity of impacts found during the engineering and environmental review, a best fit alignment was developed using a combination of all of the 3 alternatives. As a result, the FDOT is recommending this as the preferred alternative. The preferred alternative is broken into 2 typical sections, as shown on this slide. Please see the concept boards located at the in-person facility and provided online in the documents chat box or at www.nwflroads.com/virtual meetings for easy viewing for more detail. The first proposed typical section from Blue Angel Parkway to Richmond Street is a 4-lane urban typical section with a design speed of 45 miles per hour. The total proposed right-of-way width needed for this section is 108 feet. It features 11-foot travel lanes, 7-foot buffered bicycle lanes, a 22-foot raised median, and 6-foot sidewalks. The second proposed typical section from Richmond Street to Harris Street is an urban typical with a design speed of 35 miles per hour. The total proposed right-of-way width needed for this section is 97 feet 6 inches. It features 11-foot travel lanes, 7-foot buffered bicycle lanes with a narrower median to avoid right-of-way impacts. This portion of the corridor was modified following the alternatives meeting to provide a safer pedestrian crossing at the existing mid-block crosswalk near Merritt Street. Due to the existing constrained nature of this area, the design speed was reduced to minimize right-of-way needs. This location will also include a pedestrian hybrid beacon for additional crossing benefit. A pedestrian hybrid beacon is a special type of signal that is used to help control traffic and keep pedestrians safe when crossing highways. The proposed improvements will tie into the recently constructed Gulf Beach Highway and Navy Boulevard, State Road 295 intersection improvements at Harris Street. The Gulf Beach Highway and Navy Boulevard intersection will include the addition of a westbound right turn lane onto Navy Boulevard and a southbound right turn lane onto Gulf Beach Highway, but will maintain the general configuration as seen today. An important element of any PD&D study is the evaluation of potential project impacts and benefits. A wide range of environmental resources was evaluated, including various social, cultural, natural, and physical features. Engineering and traffic factors were also considered. This slide illustrates the impacts for the preferred alternative. Cultural impacts resulted in no affected sites. Natural impacts resulted in 0.595 acres of wetland impacts. These are not expected to substantially affect the stability or overall quality of the surrounding wetland systems. Physical impacts resulted in 6 noise-sensitive sites recommended for further evaluation in the project's final design phase, 35 sites of potential contamination risk. The social impacts resulted in 224 parcel impacts, 3 business relocations, 6 residential relocations. One of the unavoidable consequences on a project such as this is the necessary relocation of residences or businesses. On this project, we anticipate the relocation of 6 families and 3 businesses. All right-of-way acquisition will be conducted in accordance with Florida Statute 339.09 and the Federal Uniform Relocation Assistance and Real Property Acquisition Policies Act of 1970, commonly known as the Uniform Act. If you are required to make any type of move as a result of a Department of Transportation project, you can expect to be treated in a fair and helpful manner and in compliance with the Uniform Relocation Assistance Act. If a move is required, you will be contacted by an appraiser who will inspect your property. We encourage you to be present during the inspection and provide information about the value of your property. You may also be eligible for relocation advisory services and payment benefits. If you are being moved and you are unsatisfied with the department's determination of your eligibility for payments or the amount of that payment, you may appeal that determination. You will be promptly furnished necessary forms and notified of the procedure to be followed in making that appeal. A special word of caution. If you move before you receive notification of the relocation benefits that you might be entitled to, your benefits may be jeopardized. A representative from the District Right-of-Way Department is here tonight and will be able to provide you with further assistance if you have questions regarding residential or business relocations on this project. These impacts were evaluated to determine the recommended alternative as well as right-of-way and construction costs. The total estimated construction cost of the preferred alternative is $75.3 million. A comparison of the impacts from the build alternative is provided in the environmental document prepared for the project. These impacts were evaluated to determine the recommended alternative as well as right-of-way and construction costs. Access management classes are used to determine the locations of driveway connections, median openings, and traffic signals to improve safety and traffic flow. The current State Road 292, Sorrento Road, Gulf Beach Highway facility is an Access Class 6. The preferred alternative is proposed as an Access Class 5 while maintaining an Access Class 6 from Harris Street through State Road 295. Proposed access management modifications are on display at the in-person facility, online in the chat box, and can be found at www.nwflroads.com/virtual meetings. If you have a concern regarding the access to your parcel, please provide your comments. This graphic represents the delivery process for a project, beginning with the feasibility phase and ending with the construction phase. This project is funded for the PD&D study phase within the 5-year FDOT work program. It is currently not funded for design, right-of-way, or construction within the 5-year work program. Thank you. That concludes the formal presentation. We will now begin the public comment period of the public hearing. The next step is to incorporate your input on this public hearing into our decision-making process. After the comment period closes and your input has been considered, a decision will be made and the final PD&D document will be sent to the FDOT Office of Environmental Management for location and design concept acceptance. Please note that we will not be responding to your comments and questions today, but we will respond in writing at a later date. Anyone desiring to make a statement will now have an opportunity to do so. There are multiple ways you may provide your comments, written or verbally or online.